Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about how to talk to girls so you never run out of things to say. So this is a video about when you're on a date or when you're interacting with women that you really like, and how you can talk to them so you never run out of things to say. So the important thing to know about this is that your aim should be to ask questions, okay? Not necessarily be talking about things that you want to talk about all the time. Now, of course, it's okay to talk about things that you like, that you're interested in, because more than likely, if she's interested in you, then she's going to ask you about yourself. She's going to ask you about your interests. So obviously, it's okay to talk about your interests, okay? Because she's going to ask you about them. But most of the time, your aim should be to be asking her questions. So that she's doing most of the talking. Because if she's doing most of the talking and you're just sitting laid back and you're just, interacting with what she's saying, like going, oh, really cool. Well, oh, that's interesting. So how about that? And then where did you learn about that? If you're sitting back and you're doing that kind of thing, and you're making her speak most of the time, then you're appearing more mysterious. So if she wants to get to know you more, then she has to keep on seeing you, because if you're like holding if you're holding back and you're not volunteering information about yourself, essentially, if she wants to see you again, if she wants to go on another date with you, if she wants to know more about you, she's gonna have to see you again, right? Because she didn't find out everything on the first date or the first couple of dates, because you got her to do most of the talking. Okay, so it's a really interesting thing that you can do to remain mysterious. Now, also though, simultaneously, when you're asking these questions, the questions that you should ask should be positive, light-hearted, and also things that she would enjoy answering. So one of the ways you can tell if a woman is enjoying answering a question is if she lights up. Okay, so for example, let's say you asked, you can tell that maybe she's got her phone on the table, right? And you can, and like a picture of an animal comes up, like it's a cat or it's a dog or a bird, whatever it may be. And you're like, oh, so well, I see you got an animal there on I see you got a pet there on your phone, on your wallpaper. And is that your pet? And she might be like, oh yeah, that's my dog. I got him a couple of years ago, and he's a cockapoo or whatever. I don't know, many dog breeds. But and she goes on talking about him, and she's like, oh yeah, well I take him to the groomers. I'm actually teaching him lots of tricks, and we practice this. We go to training, and she starts to light up because she's talking about a dog, and she's talking about how much she loves her dog. Then if you can tell that she's lighting up about that particular subject, then ask her more about that particular subject, because obviously she's enjoying talking about it, okay? And you want her to talk about things that she enjoys talking about. Now this is some old age wisdom from the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. And basically what Dale Carnegie talks about in that book is one of the things he talks about anyway is talk when you're talking to someone, talk about their interests, okay? Because that will get them to like you, because obviously if they're talking about things that they find interesting, that they find fascinating, they're going to want to talk to you more, because maybe they don't get asked those kinds of questions a lot. If you think about it, if you think about like the typical conversation two people have, it's usually about the weather, it's usually about the state of the world, the economy, it's just basic sort of things that everyone talks about with each other. It's small talk, essentially, right? But when you get deeper and you get someone to talk about something that they're fascinated in, it doesn't happen that often to them usually. So they unload on you and they're like, oh yeah, I really love this, I love that, and they're speaking 100 miles a minute because it's something that they're extremely passionate about, okay? So get her to talk about those kinds of things, because those are the things that are going to light her up, make her feel good, and she's going to get to unload all this information that she's probably built up because no one's ever asked her about these things before, or they haven't shown that much of an interest when she has spoken about them. So if you're showing an interest and you're asking questions about it, then it's going to show to her that and she's going to want to talk to you. She's going to want to keep on talking to you. She's going to want to keep on seeing you because you know how to talk to her, okay? And you're getting her to talk about those things that she really loves and she adores and she truly wants to talk about. Okay, so what are some things then that you can try to, because it may be hard to fish this information out of her, because let's say you can't see what's on her phone for whatever reason, or it's just a normal sort of standard background, so you can't tell the things that she's kind of into, and she doesn't volunteer that stuff. So obviously one of the first things, if you're dating online, then there may be a couple of things on her dating profile that you may need to quickly look at before you go out on the date, because it may have said some of the things that she's interested in, so you can talk about that, so you've already got like a little bit of a list, because usually a lot of people write down what they're interested in. But there's some other questions that you can ask if you're unsure. Like, so for example, you can ask, what are you obsessed with right now? Right, because that's a good thing, because if someone's really interested in something, then they're going to be obsessed about it, right? So so what are you really obsessed with right now? And you may even like just quickly talk about yourself just very briefly and say, because I'm really obsessed with I don't know, tractors or something. I don't know. It's just one of those, I don't know. Right, or it could be a particular book or a particular topic. Well, I'm really interested in Greek philosophy right now. And then you may, and they say, so what are you really obsessed with right now? And then she'll be like, oh yeah, I'm really obsessed with, it might be a particular TV show. And you're like, oh cool, yeah, what's that TV show about? And then she gets to talking on about like, oh yes, about this, and there's these two characters, and they're in this relationship, and no one knows what's gonna happen. And she's really passionately talking about it because it's something that she's interested in, and it's something she's obsessed about. Another good question to ask, which will elicit a positive topic, would be, who is your favorite family member? Right, and then again, you might volunteer yours. You might say, well, for example, my favorite family member is my brother or something like that. And you're like, oh, and then you start, oh yeah, mine is my grandma, and then she starts talking about her, right, and get her to ask her more questions about it, right? So it's not about just asking her one question, and then she says, oh yeah, it's my grandma. And they're like, oh, cool. And then you go on to the next question. Now, you ask her about her grandma. You say, oh, okay, so how old is your grandmother? And she's like, oh, well, she's like in her 90s now. But she's still doing really well. And it's really good. We have a great bond. I'm like, oh, wow. So what are some of your favourite memories with her then? Like, because obviously if she's your favourite human, she's your favourite family member, then you guys must have shared some really lovely memories together. Tell me some. And then she'll just go on and tell you about those things. So it's all about, about me clearing my throat all the time, by the way. It's about finding a topic and then diving deep into that topic so she can talk about it more. Okay, and again, this is really good because you're never going to run out of things to say, because you're getting her to do most of the talking. It's all about finding what she's interested in and getting her to talk about those things. And also simultaneously, you're getting to know her. You're getting to know who she is, right? And you're getting to find out if she's going to be the right fit for you, because it may be that she's interested in a lot of different things that you have no interest in whatsoever. Or you might hear some red flags while she's talking about certain subjects. Like you might find out that she's cheated on everyone she's ever been with. You might find out that she's a smoker or a heavy drinker, and maybe that's not part of your lifestyle. Because also while you're sort of asking her questions, you're also trying to find out if she is the right person for you and if she's worth a second date with. Okay? You don't want to just date women just for the sake of it. You want to date women who are actually worth your time. And when I say worth your time, I'm not saying that these other women are worthless, but they're just worth someone else's time who's more interested in them. A woman who is not worth your time is a woman who it's not going to work out with, because she's just not what you are looking for. Okay? That's what I mean by that. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. And if you would like to get more tips, then please go to the website and read Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams, www.christineloveridge.com. And you don't need to log into the website, you don't need to sign up. It's just there for free on the website. You can just read it, go straight to a PDF reader. Just click on the menu of the website and then go click on the link that says the book, and it'll take you right there. And you can just go and read it for free. And you can get a physical copy if you want on Amazon, but it's not necessary because everything that's on the website is in this. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.